All right, it's 7 o'clock, February 14th, 2023. I'd like to call the Town of Lake Mills Town Board monthly meeting to order.
Make a motion to adopt February's agenda as printed.
Second.
Any discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries to adopt tonight's agenda. All right, can we get a motion to approve the public hearing from January 10th, 2023?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 10th, 2023.
Second.
Any other discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries to approve the public hearing minutes. Can we get a motion to approve the Town of Lake Mills Town Board meeting January 10th, 2023?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All
Aye.
opposed, say nay. Motion carries to approve January 10th meeting minutes. Can we get a motion to approve the meeting minutes for special meeting on January 19th, 2023?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. And can we get a motion to approve the special meeting Tuesday, February 7th?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes February 7th.
Yep, second that one.
Yep.
Second.
Dave was in here.
Sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 2-0.
To clarify, Tom, you seconded that?
Yes, I did. I second. Yep. Okay, can we get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for February 2023.
Second.
I just want to make one comment.
Absolutely.
I just want to tell you that both those outstanding checks have now cleared the bank, if you want to look at
Wow. The other day on some.
But we still don't have any money, right?
it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. To approve the treasurer's report. Can we get approval of the town board expense sheets?
I make a motion to approve the expense sheet for town clerk,
Second.
$66.48.
It looks like postage and substitute and some election materials. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, can we get approval of fund voucher?
I'll make a motion to approve February's disbursements of $2,830,588.12.
Second that.
Tax money.
Any other discussion?
A couple of things, Robin, I'm assuming that, the state trust fund loan was highways, right?
Yes, that is the last payment from those two loans we had out
Okay,
with them.
so next year it's gonna be,
No state trust fund loan.
Oh,
That's the
sweet,
last
nice.
payment.
okay, good. The other one is the guardrail, Newville Road, that's not DOT, that's our responsibility.
Well, we have to pay the bill up front, and then we have an invoice ready to send to the individual that caused that to get
Oh,
reimbursed.
was an accident.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we got a
okay,
report on it, so I had the information of what,
Oh,
who caused that, so
good.
that, in fact, Sharon's got the invoice in an envelope ready to be mailed when the bills get
sweet.
paid, so.
One other question, Tom, more for you, I guess. Are we not complaining because every tree that gets taken down, that's less than my chance of having to get up whenever, but, $15,770. Are we done trimming for a little while?
We
You
just
Yes.
received one more invoice for another 8,000 today.
Okay.
On that same issue, chipper truck on various roads, is he chipping into a truck and hauling them, or?
Yeah, it's
On
The
town roads too?
branch, the branches, yeah.
'Cause he
Yeah, I
can
know,
pull
but
that right
as far
there.
as-
yeah, when he brushed, he got rid of it all.
Or can't you just blow it in?
Yeah. Just pull it right in.
We have,
Not
the only
chip.
complaint I got was because there was a few chips on the street. I think he did a pretty good job, otherwise it was pretty clean.
You should see Highway 26.
I don't know, I can ask him on the town roads. but
Yeah, town roads.
I know he did do it in the
Residential.
neighborhoods, I saw him.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Any town road, so he's
Blow them
blowing
out there. No sense in paying trucking. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. You have a motion on that, second?
Yeah, yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Reports? Please.
Okay, so for January, we had 51 hours worked. We took 2 complaints. One was assisting the city. The other dealt with some posts out on Crowfield Road by Airport Road that someone complained, felt it was too close to the road to allow the plows to sufficiently clear the highway. I had talks with various people to ascertain the history of that and talk to the plowing company and some other people. For now, I don't feel it's a hazard. I'm just going to leave it be. Continue to look at it. Had 4.25 hours of investigative time for all the staff. We had 10 traffic stops one morning, 12.5 hours of radar, 3 residence checks, 2 extra attentions, and 7 park checks. So I sent you guys that email. I don't know if that's something you want to discuss here or save for a later time, or if it's,
No, no.
Yeah, we can do it now. I can, I appreciate the email and feedback, you know, and I understand, you know, you just took over and we have to get fully staffed, which is an issue, which does contribute to the shortage of hours, not only in special events, but on the lake and things in the summertime. And once that does get fully staffed, then, you know, obviously, things like that should be our duty to get them staffed. That's not the only thing we do though. You know, we have, I think you had mentioned in that email too, that there's a fire EMS call, just maybe the same call in the lake or.
yeah, there was. Yeah.
Worked out. I mean, we factor all those costs into these fees. And the old system, a group of 30 paid $100, and the triathlon that had 750 paid $100. It didn't make any sense because you had way more people you had to deal with, you had way more problems, you know, potential problems to deal with. Not that it happens, but you don't want it to happen either. So we made it obviously scalable. We've got administrative here. By the time you add all those costs up, it's well over that price. And that's where we kind of came out with that number, which was probably less than it needs to be, but that's just what we settled on. I don't like it like than anybody else does, but, you know, I would say, well, if fire contributed and they're out there volunteering or whatever on that day and doing some things and support them, or, you know, but we have to pay that fee. Was it $300,000 a year? You know, it's factored in, and every call drives that number up. You know, or any call drives that number up. So it's not easy. I mean, that's the only commentary I'm going to make on it. I understand nonprofits. I know there's other groups that try to get away with it. I know that fishing one, they're guilty, but I think if we were benefiting more from the community aspect, from the Lake Mills Main Street, like if it was called the Lake Mills Main Street, and it was community-based, where some of that funding is coming out into the surrounding townships too, then I wouldn't probably get it, but we don't see any of that money. We see zero revenue from any of that. We have a few bars there over in Crowville. I don't think they benefit from the events that happen down here.
Right. I think my thought is that there's participants from the township that enjoy such a thing as well. And I don't think the city per se gets any money other than the fees that they charge to. I just
I don't know what they charge.
I don't either.
You know, but
It was just a thought. I personally enjoy these events. I think it enhances the area. I think there's money that comes back in the area. The township doesn't have as much infrastructure business that benefits from that, like the city does. So I completely understand what you're saying. I do.
it's frustrating, but I think the push from the town, and I think going forward, and I think EMS is going to bring this to light. This whole, I mean, you look at the bright spots and things, is that things do become more community involved. because the resources are so short on all ends, and the money is
Mhm.
short on all ends. So it's gonna take more collaboration, but we need them to extend that hand out here too. And that hasn't happened in a long time, but it is starting to now, so that's a good thing. So we'll see where it goes. Okay. Anything else? All right, Cambridge Fire and EMS report, James.
Nothing to report. Our next meeting is gonna be sometime in March.
Missed one. Me. Maybe you wanted.
Oh, geez, Jim, I'm sorry. Plan committee. See, I knew I skipped something tonight.
We met, we started working on the comprehensive land use plan, updating that. So we're going to review 3 chapters every month and hopefully have a report or something ready in May with an estimate of costs so we can proceed to budget for 2024 for planner. We need one.
Yeah, and I saw in the minutes that you may have gotten, kind of, didn't do that out of the gate. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That was it.
All right.
Also made a motion to recommend facilities.
Oh, yeah, the facilities committee, Robin presented the new town hall proposal, and plan commission approved the location and design.
Okay. Excellent. All right, JRLC report, I don't think they met.
No, I don't think so.
Town chairman report, city, county, state. Well, there's been a lot of activity on the EMS front, back and forth. City, at the county, and at the state. Actually, one of the other town board members attended a function I wasn't able to go to, but I put in my 2 cents to him to relay to some of the state legislatures on the EMS front. You know, to really push the envelope that this is a really serious issue, the staffing is short, and that we need help, the communities need help in getting to solutions that work for everybody and for the safety of the residents. Roads, and I'll get to it a little bit later on. They've still been after Corey to get on that Crossman thing to look at that, whatever, to give us some kind of report on that. Haven't done a whole lot on crack filling because there's a lot of sand in the roads right now. It's kind of hard to see everything. But I've got an idea and a short list of roads for that. And then we'll go from there. That's pretty much it. Parks Committee report.
Did they meet?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We talked and approved, moving forward, the Lake Mills FFA for volunteers. And then the next meeting, probably Lakeside FFA for the same gamut. But we thought it'd be a good idea to go down a similar road of essentially, just keep, instead of having to do approvals at every board meeting, just give the town chair authorization to approve. Yeah.
There's on our
It's on the
agenda later.
Yeah. And that was kind of it. And they were looking at some other stuff with kayak racks, but there's no official cost or anything like that. And I think one of the future agenda items is to pin down that cost on Phillips Park for the board differentials. And squeeze that off and get that fixed up there in that area. So progress anyway. Town Hall Facilities Committee.
Okay, we worked on finalizing a mailer that we have decided to suggest that gets sent out by the town board after the feedback from the open house. That way everybody has this information in front of them. It's for informational purposes only, so they're aware that on April 18th, 2023, at the annual meeting, which starts at 7 o'clock, the electors will be deciding whether or not we should move forward with what we propose for the town hall. We've got some costs, which we'll discuss at a later agenda item, because we'll need those approvals for getting that mailed out. We also discussed with David Ferris more about the cost impact. We did a comparison. Rather than doing any growth, we just kept it steady because we can't guarantee growth. We don't know how many more homes are going to be built or, any improvements are going to be. So we sort of did a flat line on that so that we had a realistic number that we could say this is what it's gonna cost. The cost will be affected by those things, but that's not gonna be factored in at this point. It'll be beneficial if there is growth, obviously. It'll, you know,
Okay.
change the tax impact, but that's about it, right?
Yep.
So,
Awesome, thanks, Robin. All right, period of public comment. This is the time for the public, general public to make commentary. Unless called on by the board later in the meeting, please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Come to the podium, state your name and your address. Anyone out there?
Terry Johnson, firefighter at Cambridge Fire. I just on the understanding, Dave, maybe you know about that too, but Christiana's looking to sell the Pizza Pit property.
Yeah, I talked to Mark last night, he said that, yeah, they were gonna put it up for sale. I guess they had a buyer at the meeting also.
So, under the agreement that was signed back in 2018 in October there, you know, the agreement between Christiana and the commission, they gave a period of 7 years to get something done with the property and you know, I guess I'm imploring the commission to try to get something done with this because that $280,000 that was spent by Christiana would save the project $2 million. You know, I understand Mark's got a whole bunch of pressure to sell that, but you know, if the cost benefit of hanging on to it, I know that they can't sell it to the commission until all the referendums pass, which hasn't been happened, but it's quite a concern to us if we lose that property, that piece of property where we are now it's not big enough to expand to what we need there. It's quite a concern to us now to go backwards that far. I mean, we were at a standstill, but now we're going backwards, so.
Right. Do you remember, Terry, exactly where we're at? Has it been about 5 years?
Well, it was 2018, October of 2018 that was signed, so it'll be 5 years next October, so.
Okay.
And it would save, you know, eventually there's something's gonna have to be done at a cost, you know, and that cost of that property would certainly benefit all 5 municipalities when that final cost comes through. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else in the public comment section? Going once, going twice. All right, moving on, applications. Moving on, old business, discussion and our decision or resolution for intergovernmental agreement with Cambridge Fire EMS. It's tabled right now. We'll take it on table.
No, I have no.
Nope, okay, moving on. Discussion or decision of proposed ordinance 5-27 Town of Lake Mills, keeping of chickens ordinance.
Simple ordinance, one day to a night. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah. Well, chickens can't be a nightmare.
I guess they can. They're dying in Ohio right now. Fire.
Oh my gosh, the biggest Easter egg thought.
Ready for comment?
Yep. Good.
Anyway, there's a couple of things that should be added. Anita Martin sent an email today, and I had those marked already. I think there should be a definition for enclosure. And that definition should say the enclosure is all coops, yards, and runs provided for the keeping of chickens. I can give you this.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation, because later on it talks about enclosures.
Yep.
And
Okay.
it, you know, it really is everything.
Makes sense to me.
And then, B4 says chickens shall be provided with a sanitary and adequately sized covered enclosure. I would like to remove next sentence, the entire thing, coops should be at least 3 square feet. Because in the next item 5, you could add that chicken coops shall be at least 3 square feet in size per chicken and shall be constructed in a workmanlike manner and moisture resistant. I think it's kind of redundant. I mean, it should be under chicken coops, not under enclosure. So I would just do that distinction. And then the other one was to add under public health requirements, item 4, a livestock premises registration with Wisconsin Department of
Agriculture,
required
yeah.
to keep and house chickens. So that was missed.
Yep.
That was
That was a big one,
The only thing I think she added on that is that she wanted to see the link in the ordinance to get to their website. She had mentioned that to me. I can't remember if she put that in her actual email to you guys or not. But I think if we do that, that runs the risk of that link being broken at some point or being defaulted. So I think referring to the need to be registered is more important in the ordinance and maybe providing that link of where to do that elsewhere outside of the ordinance.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't put it in the policy because it could change or something,
Right.
and you're not gonna change your policy every time it changes.
Right.
Yeah, that's on a separate document.
Yeah.
Website. And hopefully that people that are investigating this anyway, they're doing their research and they should be doing that anyway without, you know.
She also made a reference to that it should, this selling of eggs will only pertain to the residential areas, but that is in this, I don't, she must have been looking at.
Yeah, that's
the older,
it.
depending on which ordinance she was
She
looking
had
at.
the older version of the draft was on it because we were going to go to public hearing with that one, then we retracted that.
Yeah.
So I did tell her there's
It's
another
in this
version.
Tom, my only comment is, I think it should be expanded. No, right now you honed in on chickens. What about geese and ducks and turkeys? You know, any domestic, and I saw that in the church letter. And we can't control what goes on inside the house, but outside, I think it needs to be expanded
To say what?
to include turkeys.
To allow?
Ooh, I don't know if I want to allow them.
Well, then you better put in there,
It is in there.
Well, that's just it where you draw that line if you're going to regulate chickens this way.
Chicken, it's in the definition. It says this does not include other birds, domestic fowls.
Yeah, I know.
If somebody decides to have ducks
know.
for eggs, what are we going to do? Create a duck ordinance?
They can't have ducks. They can't have ducks according to this ordinance.
Is that how it reads?
Yeah.
Okay.
It only allows chickens. It doesn't allow, and chicken is, it says, it does not include domestic fowls, such as ducks, geese, turkeys, guinea hens, or other fowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's a chicken, not a duck, not a turkey.
Right, so then we're gonna have one for geese, then we're gonna have one for ducks.
But you're interpreting that this ordinance doesn't allow any of those others in the
Interpreting,
piece.
that's what it says.
Okay,
That's what it says.
okay. Just making sure I understand
Okay.
what you're saying there.
You want to clarify it, each, Dave wants to allow.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
No, but he doesn't want to write a separate ordinance for each one, is what he's trying to say.
Well, if you're reading because you're looking at the definition portion where it defines what a chicken is, that it says this does not include other birds. But that doesn't necessarily that it's saying that they can't have them on the property. It's just saying
Right.
that this definition is saying that these birds are not a chicken.
police officer goes out, based on this ordinance, if they have a duck, he can write them, give them a warning on this ordinance. That's my interpretation.
The way I read it, that was, as Robin stated, it was a definition of what a chicken is. And so if it were to be included later as something, this ordinance does not allow for keeping of these other fowl.
It almost needs to be written as a separate line item.
I think it needs to be.
No keeping of other.
Okay, so that was in the old ordinance, so then it's the keeping of turkey, ducks, geese, guinea hens, or fowl is prohibited. that would be a separate line item?
Yep.
All right, under,
Just insert
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to figure out where.
I think
oh,
that's
under B.
nice and clear.
Chickens allowed.
Yeah, I think I'd fall under that one. It says one person shall keep a rooster, I could even say the next line.
Yeah.
One person shall keep
Put it
any.
right in.
Yeah, get it right near the.
And then I don't know if there's a catch-all term you'd want to use for things that aren't actually defined. So you've got, if you choose to write the term goose, term turkey, the term whatever, someone's going to have something that they're going to be like, okay, but this is a
Exotic feathered animal.
something.
Oh, that's a whole nother ordinance.
So I don't know if the word fowl or other fowl or something that.
Well, what did you refer to it, Dave? It's domestic?
I'm thinking a domestic farm animal, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because these are producing things, I mean, they're all production animals.
Yeah.
Isn't it covered in county zoning?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, not too far outside our jurisdiction, there's a farm that has like, what do you call it, peacocks and other such animals, but, so, if there's no catch-all, that leaves those out
You
there.
would not want a peacock in the R1 or R2. We got one about 3 miles away from us.
Or
We can
even-
do that big.
Guinea hens, you don't either.
Yeah, you're looking for a broader term.
Well, I'm just, you know, I don't write policy, I'm just telling you that from an enforcement standpoint, depending on what you guys choose to do, that could create some loopholes for other things if you're looking to exclude or include, whichever way you want to go. But I can drive probably a mile outside of this jurisdiction in 2 different directions and find these different animals run alongside the road in a couple places.
Somebody might want a potbelly pig for a pet. I'm gonna, is that considered a domestic farm animal?
Yeah, I think, I mean,
I don't know, I think we
Yeah,
need a
this
good
would
way
just
to
stick-
do it all.
Well, and I know that years ago, the Towns Association put a sample ordinance out for exotic animals like tigers, lions, people, prohibiting that being kept.
it's a tough word to use though, because people might have a pet snake.
Right. Yeah.
As long as it's inside the house, I don't care.
Jim is looking up the definition of fowl to see if that covers all these other animals.
It's a good point, because somebody always tries to find a loophole.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then they're gonna be cute.
Now, is
They're
Yeah,
usually gallinaceous birds that are barnyard, domesticated, or wild as a duck, turkey, or pheasant. That's a fowl. That's kind of an all-inclusive type. Yeah, you got gallinaceous. Gallinaceous birds.
there you go.
It's a scientific.
Good enough for me.
That one,
So the keeping of turkeys, ducks, geese, guinea hens, or other fowl is prohibited.
okay, I'm happy.
No, that makes sense. It is. It's always a way they call it.
Otherwise, you're gonna be doing it again.
They'll ship their chickens
No,
off
is
and
it-
they'll have to-
So when it comes to having them registered at the state, is it only chickens that the state requires that of them?
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
I think it's
Any-
production. I think it's
Yep,
anything that's
any-
producing.
Calves,
That's
cows,
avian, that's avian.
bulls, they all have to be registered.
Yeah.
If you have a animal,
It all
farm animal on
contributes to
your
the
premises, you have to be registered.
Yeah.
And that's a state rule, so we shouldn't
Yeah.
have to reiterate that
No,
in our
that's
own
state.
ordinance.
Right.
Okay.
No, right, but they need a livestock premises registration number.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other change?
Most importantly, we're not creating a need for a permit process. We're just putting the regulations out there so that people know what they are.
You done? I'll make a motion.
With the amendments.
I'll make a motion that we move this keeping of chicken ordinance on to public hearing next meeting with the inclusion of the enclosure definition no keeping of turkey, ducks, geese, guinea hens, or other fowls prohibited. Moving that one sentence shall be at least 3 square feet in size of chickens down to the next paragraph. And then adding the livestock premises registration requirement.
Again,
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. New business. Discussion or decision of town representative, city public works committee. We got a note on that, but I don't see it here.
When that term is up in April, right? So would it make sense to wait until the term is up?
Yeah, I think April's a good time, because there's maybe couple other people interested too, so.
Or
Just do
they're
it all at
appointing
once.
someone and then we're reappointing again, I think, so.
And my other question is, was there any other appointments up? We usually get a list of that.
Yeah, that, on the March agenda, we should have the listing of the appointments.
So it's a good time to do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the natural, the cycle that we go through, so I think March, we start looking at that. If anyone's interested in serving in any capacity, they can get a hold of me, and we can explain what's available, so.
Excellent. Well, can we get a motion to table that till later?
April or March? You want it April?
I think we should start the discussion in March, maybe, so that we know what's up for reappointment.
March, okay.
Okay, make a motion to table this discussion until March.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision or recommendation regarding AIS Citizens Monitoring Group. No information on that. It's been tabled. Nothing came back saying we, this last month. All right, discussion or decision to revisit the contract with LMEMS. I thought they might be here today. We'll see.
He did say he was gonna try to be here, but
Oh,
Yeah.
Keep that open, maybe he'll show up. We're gonna wrap this
without
up.
revamping the agenda. I don't know if we can do that
Okay.
legally at this point.
He's not here.
We can table it till
Table,
March.
make a motion to table till next meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Table. Discussion or decision of Parks Committee recommendation to allow the town chairperson to approve volunteers for the 2023 Parks project.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. I abstain. All right, moving on. Passes. Discussion or decision of Joint Rock Lake Committee's request for fundraising approval. Don't have any information on that either. But they should have it by our next meeting, so we can get a motion to table that, I guess.
I'll make a motion to table the fundraising approval for Joint Rock Lake Committee.
Get a second. No, you're not.
Not for me.
All right, I'll second it. Any other discussion?
What? I don't understand why they need to have fundraising approval. They don't need to fundraise, in my opinion. Totally against it.
are they allowed to per their ordinance?
No. That's why I don't know why they're even asking.
And the ordinance is still under review, so I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't voice a comment on the ordinance aspect of it. As long as it's legal and they have a path to do it, I don't. And, as the board doesn't have to work or put any effort into it, or that's, it's gotta have to be totally on.
Well,
And that's the only thing I would consider.
as long as it's on the agenda, we can discuss it, but the Rock Lake Improvement Association does fundraising and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's where it should stay, a private group away from the town board. These people are appointed by the town board, they're part of our jurisdiction. I don't think government should be fundraising for private issues.
And maybe that's a
It's gonna be a
future
big call,
recommendation.
can of worms.
Yeah, and then maybe that's a future recommendation. I do not disagree with that. However, I just witnessed once again, the Rock Lake Improvement Association tonight at a public works meeting doing the same thing, bypassing what they could have had of support from the Joint Rock Lake Committee on something on stormwater sewer, because there are city representatives on that affects Rock Lake, just skipping that process. So they don't want to work with, they don't want to follow the chain of command, which is pretty bothersome, you know, but maybe they move on and find a different route to work with too. So,
Well, legally, if it says that they can't fundraise in the current ordinance, they can't fundraise.
correct.
Okay.
They would have to change in that ordinance.
So that, are,
And that's under, and we don't even know if that ordinance is legal anymore. So, whether it should be a committee or commission, so. We'll see. The word is out on the whole thing, essentially. But if we can table it and at least hear from them on it, I think it helps close it out.
did you have a question?
I seconded it already. So that was discussion.
All question.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay.
I said aye to table.
Okay.
Discussion or decision, a contract amendment for Coconut Pearl for additional insurance costs.
I've read that email to you that Joe sent in.
Well, he's just gonna add it to the.
He's just gonna add to his bill,
Yeah.
so I guess I don't
Right.
understand what the.
Yeah. So, just add it to the bill.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see a way around it. We're not gonna, I mean, trying to find somebody different to do that job.
Well,
There's no
the only
sense.
reason so it's clear why it came up is because he didn't have workers' comp on his insurance.
Yes.
So we ended up
Right.
having to pay workers' comp even though he's an independent contractor because
Right.
we, in our insurance audit, we couldn't show that he had that coverage. So we had to cover it. So we're trying to make sure the independent contractors have that on their certificate of insurance. So we're
Yep.
not paying, flipping that bill, but it still costs us. So,
Eric, can we get a motion on that then?
So is he going to get his own insurance and then
He
he's gonna
is.
charge us?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, the difference after he's reimbursed? If he doesn't claim it, he gets money back. Well, that's the way it sounded to me. It was gonna be like $900. If he didn't use it, the 600 comes back
Sure.
to the town.
Sure.
So I'll make a motion to, let Coconut Pearl, or require Coconut Pearl to buy the additional insurance costs for comprehensive and bill the town.
I will second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision of intergovernmental agreements with adjacent towns for winter maintenance. I haven't heard from anybody, so we'll just move on here.
What are the additional, towns? Well,
We have an agreement with the town of Milford.
Milford.
And you guys had discussed wanting to get an agreement with the town of Deerfield if it's
Deerfield.
possible.
Deerfield,
Right.
Oakland.
Didn't you say Ashland?
Yeah, we have an agreement with Ashland.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, I think.
What's Aspen?
G switch up, they do Mansfield, we
Mansfield.
do Hope Lake from, G to 89.
We do that yet? Okay.
But that's, yeah, it's
It's a
roadside
really
mowing,
small stretch.
roadside mowing, plowing and sanding, that's all.
Yeah, because the town of Milford actually sends us an invoice for their stretch because we don't have anything that we swap with them. Where
Correct.
town of Ashland, we have a place to swap,
Swap.
so it's
Yep.
fair.
Right.
Town of Deerfield, we need some agreement because there's always a confusion as who should be doing what over
On that
on
road.
Rainier Lane.
Well, we just need clarity on that one.
Because the property owners and the residents over there are being left unplowed on a public road.
Well, I'll get on the chairs over there to get this.
So-
Look at this shape.
Jason's not checking to make sure it's done.
He's not required to do that, but because the town of Deerfield has always plowed that.
And usually to get there, it's already done.
Yep, and then, not always, that's the
Not
thing.
Not out.
And then because it splits between the two counties,
Right.
they feel like they don't need to do part of it. So it's been kind of a back and forth, all.
Yeah, right.
So an agreement would be much better.
No, we should have all of the agreements renewed. They're so old, a lot of these things. Need something updated.
It's their road. It's in Deerfield.
All right,
Yeah.
do we need to table that?
Yeah, I'll make a
to a
motion.
future meeting.
Makes a motion to table it for future.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision to design, printing, and mailing costs of information known to taxpayers requested by the town. Facilities Committee in regards to the proposed.
Okay, so we have the flyer, which we have worked on designing, that's gonna be sent out. It's gonna be a 2-page flyer, front and back, with the information about the proposal. It's for informational only, so we are gonna add a disclosure at the top, that's what it's for. In order to let the electors know that they need to come to the annual meeting in April. And the costs, we got from Leader Printing to send out a bulk mailing is $210.80 for envelopes. For a 2-page flyer like this for printing cost is $693.78. Postage is estimated about $320. That could fluctuate a little bit. And the design cost for this was about $200. So we're looking at, and the only other thing I thought of that we will have to get is the actual addresses from the county. And usually they can either send us a spreadsheet with that, and then the printing company can put it onto the envelopes. I think they've used labels, or we can actually get the labels printed at the county, so there might be some costs there. So it's gonna be about $1,500 when it's all said and done. If the board chooses to go this route to send this out, I should say.
I make a motion to approve the mailing for $1,500.
Not to exceed. Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
If we run over, we won't send you one, Dave.
There you go. Just hand it to
We're
me.
gonna try to keep it under that.
All right, discussion or decision of 2023 roads budget and craft clearing projects. I think we gotta kind of wait anyway to see the final tree billing and kind of decipher where we are with winter maintenance and figure out what we have approximately left. To make-
That's the wind doing that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's sucking the door open. It's not latched.
I've kind of gone around to look at some of the crack film and stuff. I've got a short list of roads. But it's really gonna be dependent on what we can afford.
Yeah, because winter maintenance is really getting us this year.
Yeah,
If that and the freeze thaw, blowing stuff up all.
potholes, yeah. So, we get a motion to table that to future meeting.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, discussion or decision of 2022 budget amendments. Jay.
For the most part, we did pretty good. We have just 2. We went over on, the cultural and rec department, department accounts, with some of the surveying and such that was done. But the surveying, we could pull out of the Rockland account and the fees in the parks to help compensate for some of that. So we will need to read the resolutions in full and then make a motion. Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 1, be it resolved that Town Lake Mills Town Board as follows, that the sum of $594.65 is hereby cash applied from the Rock Lake Segregated Fund to the Cultural and Recreation Department account.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Make a motion for Resolution 2, be it resolved by the Town Lake Mills Town Board as follows, that the sum of $9,500 is hereby cash applied from the fees in lieu of park land segregated fund to the Cultural and Recreation Department account.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
There's just one thing that Robin and I need to work on here, and that's we cash applied $37,000 from the road highway budget
Is this the one you want me to sign?
last year.
Whichever.
It's tore off.
We cash applied that, we don't have $37,000, we have like 28, 29. So to make the budget balance for 2023, it'll be about $8,000 or $9,000. You can do 2 ways. You can take it out of Crossland Road Fund and put it into the budget under highways, or reduce the highway budget by that $8,000 or $9,000. But we have to figure out what that number is. That'll be a future, next month.
The only reason why we had that issue with the cash applied amount is because we overestimated how much we'd have left, because we got that bill come in from
Shore Acres.
Shore Acres Road
Didn't think the
early.
county would bill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Otherwise, we would have been okay.
Yeah, somebody was on the ball. over
Yeah, I
there
know.
Because Brian Brian didn't think that was ever gonna happen, so. Oh, well, I guess he jinxed us. All right, correspondence.
We got approval for the Clean Boats, Clean Waters grant for this year, so we're gonna start that process, and it's gonna be a little different this year, because the city's gonna be doing theirs, and we're gonna do ours, but we're gonna have the same employees, we're just gonna split the timesheets according to each of them, so I'm not doing the work for both the city and the town, they're taking their own reins on theirs and doing theirs, so.
Nice.
No.
The only one I get is I keep getting a phone call and I got a letter for, this group over towards Delafield that wants to, they must like charge for enforcing ordinances and code. So-
Okay. Is
Isn't
that
that our
letter that
building
came from
inspector?
Economock that you got?
It might be, yeah.
Okay, that put in your mailbox?
Yeah,
Okay, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what you're talking
yeah, I think I got
What's
it.
up, that's for reviewing or what?
It almost looked like a scam to me.
about. Okay,
That's what, you know.
Well, that was weird
It wasn't
because-
on professional letterhead or anything.
No.
It was like just a printout on a piece of paper with nothing.
right. If we ever
It
need
looks
code
strange.
enforcement, the building inspector can do some of that too.
Yeah.
We just have to have it in a contract.
But that's-
Obviously, we have police department too, which helps.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I get so many scam phone calls, I just, unless I
Yeah.
post a voicemail, I don't pick them up, so. And then the only other one I had was on Russian. Somebody wasn't too happy. But that was like the only.
That happens all the time.
That's the only one I had.
That's just, gotta just do it.
And Shore Hills was a mess, I mean, it was a mess, and it looks a lot bigger now. And I was pretty surprised, actually, Matt made the statement that a lot of people are really happy
Oh, wow.
with, you know, because of pedestrian traffic and everything else. So, good. It needed to be done, and, you know, it's just unfortunate, built up over time. All right, discussion of future agenda items.
Okay, so I have the recommendation to discuss that came from the planning commission for the town hall facilities, the proposed one. Appointments, both public works and the planning commission, and those, we'll discuss those. Then, of course, all the tabled items that you have on here, unless it was tabled to a future date. Anything else?
Public hearing on the chicken ordinance.
Chicken
Yeah.
ordinance.
Okay.
Approval of that one. Got the town representative, Public Works Committee.
And then
That's all the ones that-
we'll have one application for a operator's license for Crowville races too.
Okay.
That just came in today.
Intergovernmental agreements. Wait on that one?
I guess table that one.
Okay.
so.
It's tabled.
Tabled
To a
up.
future date.
So
yeah.
when I can
Alright.
corral all the other chairs to figure this out.
That's in your lap.
We'll get there, we'll get there. Right now, I'm sure they're all on EMS, so. I don't know how fast this is.
When you, the meeting's scheduled, they have the extra one on February 23rd for the EMS discussion.
I think that's gonna have to be it. It's- Most people.
I was just reminding you to read it with the rest of it.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep,
Thursday.
that's February.
Could be tough. Unless you do it.
That's 6 p.m. Okay. Meeting schedule, March 1st, 2023, Town Hall Facilities Committee meeting, 6 p.m. Town Hall. March 2nd, 2023, Parks Committee meeting, 7 p.m. Town Hall. Excuse me. March 2nd, 2023, Joint Rock Lake Committee meeting, 6 p.m. at City Hall. March 7th, 2023, Plan Commission meeting, 7 p.m. at the Town Hall. March 14th, 2023, Town Board meeting, 7 p.m. at the Town Hall. And March 21st, 2023, tentative date for the second open house of proposed Town Hall. And then we also have an amendment of February 23, another special meeting for EMS joint meeting with the townships, city, and others, at 6 PM at the town hall.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Meeting adjourned, 7:50.